Come here, George. Come here, George. That's right. It's in Junebug. It's good? You think the bass are gonna like it?
What's up, YouTube? How's that bite? I'm about to open pour a 6-inch Senko right now. Just tinkering around and seeing what I can come up with, but definitely off to a good start. So we're knee deep in it. Let's just keep it up. All right, we're gonna let that dry and we'll see what we have in a few minutes. All right, YouTube. So today, this is just the appetizer. The main course is actually gonna be this new mold that I got, which is trick worm. You can see I got up early today and I was real anxious and excited about this, so I just made some off camera and I got you started with the open pour 6-inch Senko, which these aren't even supposed to be casted this way. I'm just doing it because I played around with it earlier in the week and you know what I got wasn't bad. So minus a few trimmings, what you end up getting, it's like a shaky head worm. So these were a couple extras that I had left over from the plastisol, and yeah. Again, this will be neat for a shaky head. Probably could also use it for a drop shot. A Texas rig as well, and Nico rig. So I'll be playing around with this, you know, be playing around with all the molds actually. If I can manage to do similar things like this and they actually work, then hey, more power to me. So yeah, that's what we got. I still gotta trim them up a little bit, but first I want to put them in the bath, so that's exactly what I'll do, and I'll forget about them for now. But again, today's match the hatch, what we're actually gonna do is something a little similar, or as similar as I can get to a core shot. I'm basically gonna do a blank base plastisol, no colorant, and I'm gonna include copper flake and black flake. I will be delving into core shots. I do have to do a little homework on what kind of worm I want, but I also feel that I can get a little close to the final product just as is with what I have here. So I am gonna pour those in the new mold, the Finesse crawler. I'll see if I can get some Senkos out of it as well. This mold does take a lot of plastisol and I am fresh out. I'm hoping that order from Do It comes in pretty soon. And if we have any left over, I might do a grub, maybe. Let's see how these look. If I am really sold on these, then I'll just do a second run of these. But yeah, let me go check the plastisol, make sure it's on point, and I'll be right back. All right, and we're just at about 350, so let me just give it a stir, make sure the plastic's all nice and even. And that it is. Then I'm just gonna take the copper flake and I'm gonna go heavy on the flake. I am gonna do half a teaspoon on each, then just a tad bit more. Because there is no color in here, remember, everything is depending on the flake. And then the same thing for the black. Now I'm just gonna give it a stir, see what we get. Nice rich burst of copper. You can even pick up the black still. I think this is gonna be a good mix. Let's temp it and get going. We are right there, so let's mount up and away we go. Okay, we have that there, and let's do another. All right, so we got the plastic all warmed up and ready to go for the second run. So I'm just gonna give it the plunge. We're gonna do the 6-inch Senko and the grub. Hopefully we have enough for both casts. There's one, may not have enough there, so I'll replunge back in. There's two. And we're still gonna have some plastic left over, so if these came out okay and I don't have to do a second pour on either of them, then we should have enough to do some open pours. Or if not open pours, then I might run a second pour on the trick worms. And while we're at it, let's just see what we have with the first run on the finesse worms. Cut that sprue right off. Nice. These are really not bad. It's hard to pick up on camera, the translucency. You can see a little bit of it in the tail. See right here around the edges, but it does have some transparency to it. I may have gone a little overboard with the glitter, but either way, not bad. Again, in person, you can notice a little bit more of the translucency. I sort of like them like this. They're gonna get a lot of good shimmer and shine on Bluebird Sky Days. Drop shot special right here. Not a bad deal. Put these in the bath. Recycle that sprue. And we're gonna clamp this up again. Rock. And let's check out what we have in terms of the grubs. And all right, see here with these you can notice a little bit more of the transparency. I don't know why. First off, every single time I do this mold, this last tail on this fourth grub doesn't fill in all the way. See what I mean? I'm wondering if this is one of those molds that I'm gonna have to pour either with the plastic extra hot or the mold itself might have to be heated up. I think what it is the tail part is a little bit too thin, so by the time the plastic makes it to the outer edges of the tail, it's already bone dry. Use that for remelt. Same thing with the sprue. Let me show you what we got. So we reheated these once and they're sort of turning purple on me, like a June bug, like a sprayed grass. A little bit more sprayed grass in person. Still not a bad deal. We'll hold on to them. Not bad. And now let's take a look at the Senkos. I want to see if you could pick up that little bit of sprayed grass vibe I'm getting. Do you see that green shimmer right there? That green sheen? See that? That's what I'm picking up in person here. And a lot of it. So that combined with the copper tone and the bleed from the copper tone is actually giving it like that sprayed grass effect. Let's see what we have with the Senko. These aren't bad in terms of color. They're okay. But this pour is gonna get a fail from me. See here we have 1 dent, 2 dents, 3 dents, 4. So with that being said, on the Senkos, I'm actually not gonna use them. Cut those bad boys up, chunk them right back in there. Don't know what went wrong on that pour right there, but no bueno. So we'll pour it again. All right, we're just gonna conclude with these. I'm gonna give this one more minute or two in the microwave, make sure it's at the right temp, and we're gonna close this out with a bang, hopefully. Redeem ourselves here on this pour with the 6-inch Senko again and with the trick worms. One more time. All right, 353, that magic number where we should be at. Let's do one last run with the worms. I should be doing this with gloves on. I'm a little bit of an idiot right now, but... Bang. Alright YouTube, this is what we're doing. I took out the 6-inch Senko and the finesse crawler off camera, and what we got was very similar to where we started, where I started off camera anyway. So originally this was a June bug red, and I guess the bleed from the copper has brought it back to almost like a June bug red. So I want to try something new. I'm gonna hand pour half of the Senko, then close it again, leaving just enough space so that plastic can pass through in the sprue. Add motor oil to this and try to make a two-tone worm. So let's see what we get. All right, so we're gonna let this dry. Gonna add motor oil to this. Stirring knife. Oh, what? I think we're gonna want it darker than that, so let's just add some Carolina brown pumpkin. There we go. It's starting to look a lot more browner now. A lot darker. So overall, we're at about 25-30 drops in incremental phases. And yeah, we're starting to look nice and molten. So let me pop this back in the microwave, finish closing this mold, and we're gonna see what we get. We are gonna see what we get. All right, we've got it all warmed up now, proper temperature. I'm just gonna add some more black flake just to darken up that profile. Okay. Yeah. Let's give it a stir. All right, so now let's take the plunge. All right, now it's just time to let everything dry up, and we are done. All right, so let's see what we got with the 6-inch Senko that we tried to do a home rig lamination. Okay. And it looks like everything filled in pretty perfectly. This was the hand pour side. Now let's take a look at the final product. So we have a winner here. We do have a winner. Trying to notice for any denting. We have no denting. All right, so let me cut one off, show you exactly what we got. So here you're gonna have your Carolina brown side, then here you're gonna have your purple side, and let's see if the camera can pick up the difference on both colors. Yep, there it is. Homemade lamination on a 6-inch Senko. That is not bad. You've got your purple and you've got your brownish greenish tone, and this right away for me resembles a night crawler. So yeah, I'm pretty jacked up about this right here. All right. All right, YouTube. So this is the spread for the day. Let me give you a little breakdown of what we did today. So off camera, real early in the morning, I got up and I started with these Junebug red and Junebug blue trick worms. Get one that's a little red for you. Bang. And these were not a bad deal. Then on camera, once you all joined me, I did the half pour Senkos, and you can see those turned out pretty neat as well. More of like a shaky head worm. Then we got to the nitty gritty today. I wanted to do as similar to a core shot worm as I could without actually having the stuff to do the core shot. So we started out with the trick worm, just plastisol and glitter. And of course, we're gonna get an exact match in terms of core shot. I just wanted the effect and may have gone a tad too heavy with the glitter. It's just plastered everywhere. But in person, again, you can pick up the sheen. I don't know if you can notice it there. Of just the regular plastisol. Again, I may have gone a little bit too hard the first time, but in person, not a big deal. And good looking worm overall. Just experimenting right now, just learning. We also converted a couple grubs in the same pattern. By this time, however, the plastic was reheated once or twice, and because of that, the color started to bleed a little bit. So it started turning more from a black gold kind of soft plastic to more of like a rose colored kind of soft plastic here. However, in the tail of the grub, you can notice the plastisol, just the clarity of it, and it's just plastered with flake again. Then here, this was what would have been the third heat up of the plastic. Did another of the trick shot. In the light here, the translucency on the worm is causing a heavy green effect. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick that up either. But yeah, all it did was just turn more into a, again, copper tone, kind of Junebug-ish kind of color. Then we had the fail, complete fail with the 6-inch Senkos. Then I attempted to make homemade laminate with what we had left of the plastisol in terms of that Junebug-ish color. I hand poured those, then let it dry, closed the mold back up again, poured it with a little bit pumpkin, and this was what we got. A very Canadian night crawler looking kind of worm. Won't be a bad stick bait. We'll put this to use. So yeah, that's the spread for today. At this point, remember, I'm very new to this. It's more about experimentation than actual match and a hatch. I want to see what different heats, what different colors, with different glitters give me, the different effects that I'm able to work with, what I have at my disposal, and what I can engineer just without certain tools. This was a good example today of ingenuity as to where the denting and the complete fail on the Senko was a humbling experience. I'm not perfect. I don't ever plan on being perfect. I just want to pick up how this is done and then throw my little spice into things. So that's going to do it for today, YouTube. Hope you enjoyed today's episode of Match the Hatch. Remember, it's Finesse Factory Friday. We are finally starting to thaw out. Should be a matter of days, hopefully just maybe 2 weeks or less. I'll be out on the water. So I'm just stocking up, getting prepared now. Need you to do 3 things for me, if you can, or one of them. That helps. Comment, like, subscribe. Remember, that helps out the channel a lot, and it goes a long way for me right now. And apart from that, I want you to do one thing. If you don't have any ice where you're living at right now, for me, please go out fishing. Please go out fishing. I am dying. I am aching. I am itching. Whatever you want to call it, but we're here. I'm ready to go. Got a couple interesting videos coming up for you. Maybe what's in the box or 2, and definitely a couple boat mods. But go enjoy your weekend. Until next time, I'm Miguel Malenciano. All of this right here, this is Evolution Angler Bassin, and see ya.